Hi everyone. I know chapter 9 is really difficult. There's a lot of different things to look at. So I just wanted to talk about the triad qualities in a major scale and how that relates to this assignment that you guys already handed in, but this assignment of the Roman numeral analysis, basic analysis off of Pachelbel's canon. Okay, so if you didn't get that message, you're welcome to resubmit this assignment if you feel like you didn't do a good job on it. I know it's confusing, so I'm going to describe this. But first, I'm going to use the handout, the PDF that I attached, the writing triads and Roman numerals in the major scale. So triad qualities in the major scale. It looks like this, okay? It's hard to see in this video, but you can just pull it up on your computer or print it out or whatever so you can look at it. So I actually chose a D major scale because this assignment, the Pachelbel's canon assignment, is in D major. So you can use that, it'll help you. So I wrote, the first part is I wrote out a D major scale, okay? Let me show you here, D major. And I knew it because I did the whole half step formula. So there's my D major scale. Whole step, half, whole, half. Or if I had the D major key signature memorized, I know it has two sharps, F sharp and C sharp. Anyway, I write the scale out. Now this whole triad chord thing on top of each scale note, what that sounds like essentially is so I'm just stacking thirds on top of each note. So D, I stack a third up. That would be F sharp because there's F sharp in this piece, not F. And then A, so D, F, and A. E, I stack up. There's no sharps. F sharp, I stack up. G, I stack. A, I stack. B, stack. C sharp. And then D. The important thing to remember is to stay in your key signature. So you're just using the notes that are in D major. So you've got F sharp and C sharp whenever they come up. What it looks like on the page, you can see in your PDF, is just stacked thirds, you know? It's like that. Root position triads, okay? Stacked thirds. So the next step I say is just stack the notes. Don't even add all those sharps. I did it because I'm playing the piano. But just, and you can add the sharps in the step after that. But just stack everything so you've got all those triads like that, okay? Then you can add F sharp and C sharp to all the notes that have it. Like all the F sharps, you add a sharp, and all the C sharps, you have a sharp. And then you've got your triads. You've got this. Okay, now in every major scale, it's the same sequence of triads, of chords. It's always, and I wrote this at the top of here, it's always major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. So scale degree 1 is major, scale degree 2 is minor, 3 is minor, 4 is major, 5 is major, 6 is minor, 7 is diminished, and then back to major. Just say it out loud. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. Say it again. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. Yeah, exactly. Just get it in your head. Okay. Then you know what the root of each of these chords is because these chords are all in root position. They're all stacked thirds like that, okay? So you just find the root of each of the chords. The first chord is D. And we know it's a major chord because the first chord is always major in a major scale. So it's a D major. You wouldn't write any letter next to it, just the letter D, okay? So first chord is D major. The second chord, the root of that chord, the bottom note is an E. And the second chord in a major scale is minor. So it's E minor. So you'd write E and then lowercase m. The third chord, what's the root of that chord? F sharp. And it's minor, because it's major, minor, minor. So F sharp minor, F sharp lowercase m. The fourth chord is G major. So you just write G. The fifth chord, A is the bottom note. It's A major. The sixth chord, B is the bottom note. So it's B minor, so you'd write B lowercase m. And the seventh chord is the special one. It's diminished, so it's C sharp diminished. Don't forget the sharps and flats, okay? So that's basically how you do the major triads. The reason this is important is because of, now when we get to this, the triad, this whole like analysis thing, which looks very scary, okay? So what I would want to do if I were doing this, is I would look at this assignment, you can look at it on your page, and you have got the first one filled in. The first chord is the 1 chord, it's in D major, okay? If you don't have that filled in, you'd have to figure out, is this piece in D major? Let me look at the key signature. There's 2 sharps, okay? And you go up a half step from the last sharp to figure out what key it is, and you're in D major, okay? So I'd figure out what key I'm in first. That's the most important thing for chord analysis. You must figure out what key you're in. Then once you figure that out, we know that we're in D major. This one kind of gave us the answer because it said D equals 1. It's the 1 chord, and it's major. Then I would do this. I write the D major scale and write the triads on top of it so that you end up with this, which shows us all the chords and all their qualities. D major, E minor, F sharp minor, G major, A major, B minor, C sharp diminished. The 1 chord, Roman numeral 1 is uppercase. Roman numeral 2 is lowercase because it's minor. Roman numeral 3 is lowercase because it's minor. Roman numeral 4 is uppercase because it's major. Roman numeral 5 is uppercase because it's major. Roman numeral 6 is lowercase because it's minor. And Roman numeral 7 is lowercase because it's diminished. So now we have the answer sheet here. So what we need to figure out on our worksheet, Pachelbel's canon, is what each of these chords are. That's what they did this little bottom line for. If you'll notice, none of these chords are like stacked triads. That's okay. What we want to do is just figure out what 3 notes are the 3 different notes in each chord and stack it. And once we figure that out, then we can figure out the chords. So, because look, we've got like a million notes. Let's look at this next one. I'm not going to do the whole assignment for you because I want you to do it. But let's look at the next chord, okay? We've got, let's see, what notes do we have? In bass clef, you've got A, E, A. In treble clef, you've got C sharp, E, A, C sharp. So I'm going to write that down because I need to see it in my head. I need to see it on the page. I've got A, E, A, C sharp, E, A, C sharp. These are all those notes that I've got in that second chord, okay? I'm going to cross out any of the repeated ones. So C sharp is repeated, A is repeated, and E is repeated. Let me cross this out. Repeated, repeated, repeated. Okay, that leaves us with 3 different notes, A, E, and C sharp. That's a triad. We've just got to figure out what the root of that triad is. Is it A, is it E, or is it C sharp? All those notes are in D major, so we just have to figure out how we can write that chord so it's stacked like this. If we write it and there's like a big gap in between, like a 4th or a 6th or something, then we know it's in inversion. It's not in root position, so the bottom note's not the root. So I'm going to try, let's see, let me try A as the bottom note. I'm doing it in bass clef here. So I'm going to do an A like that, and then C sharp, there's my A. C sharp is the next one, and then E. Okay, you guys tell me, is this chord stacked? Are the thirds stacked? Yes. That means this is in root position. That means the root of the chord is the bottom note. What is the bottom note of this chord? Keep in mind you're in bass clef. It's A. Okay, so we know this is an A chord of some sort. This is where our triad thing comes in handy. We've got our answer sheet here, okay? We go to this, okay? In D major, A is what chord? What number is it? What Roman numeral? 5. A is the 5th chord. So we're going to put 5 there. And what is the quality of it? Is it major? Is it minor? That's right. It's major. So A is major. So we figured out when we boiled all these notes down here to just 3 different notes, and then we flipped them around until they're stacked, that this is an A chord. Since we wrote out the D major scale with all its triads, we saw that A is the 5th scale degree, and it's the 5th chord in a D major scale. Okay? So what I'm going to write here, and it's major, so I'm going to write major here, and then I'm going to write 5. I might also want to write A so that I don't get mixed up, but that's up to you because it doesn't ask you to do that. So let me show you what I'm going to write. I'm going to write uppercase M for major, and then Roman numeral 5. And then I'm just going to write A below. So that's what I would write for the next chord. Okay? Does that make sense? Why don't we do one more chord? Same thing. We're going to go a lot faster though, okay? So I'm going to look at this next chord, the 3rd one, and I'm going to figure out what all the notes are. So in bass clef, it's B, F sharp. In treble clef, it's B, D, F sharp, B. Okay, let me write these out. B, F sharp, B, D, F sharp, B. Okay. I wrote the notes out. Obviously, there's some repeats, so I'm going to cross out all the repeats of that chord. B, F sharp, B. Okay. So I've got B, F sharp, and D. I need to find out what the root of the chord is. It's a 3-note chord. So I'm just going to experiment. Let's see. Let's do D as the root. D, remember I'm doing bass clef. Here's my chord right here. Does this look like it's in root position? This chord right here? No, because it's not stacked. You see that gap between F sharp and B? This is an inversion. It's not in root position. So we won't know which inversion it is, what the bottom note is. So D is not the root of this chord. Let me try B. Does this look like it's in root position? Yes, it's stacked. What's the root of this chord? B. Okay, now we go to our answer sheet. And we look in D major and we say, what is B in D major? B is the 6th scale degree, the 6th chord, and it is minor. So B minor, lowercase 6. That's all we put. So lowercase m for minor, and then lowercase 6, and I'm going to put B minor so that I know. So that's the next chord. Okay? Now, if you want to, please complete this assignment again. I know this is a lot of work, so that's why I just wanted to share it with you guys. Listen to the video again if it's confusing. Let me just play the chord progression. You guys know this, Pachelbel's canon. So here we are in D major. This is what it sounds like. You guys have heard that before, right? This is usually what I've heard. It's the wedding song. Anyway, it's really nice for chord progressions. Okay guys, good luck.